All right, what is up, everybody? So, Shadow Scout 0013 here with everybody, basically Canadian Bear and Chosen One from the Discord, and we are going to be talking a lot about the battle forces and kind of like our experience with them and a few different list ideas that we have, and yeah, we'll basically go from there. If you want, real quick, go ahead and join the Discord, and eventually in the future, we are going to be able to do a live Q&A from the Discord so that we can kind of take your questions. Today, we're going to again talk about the battle forces and what we've experienced. Just to be quick, again, if you haven't already headed to the Patreon, you can head there to Clan of Shadows, become a member to help out and support the channel. And also, I wanted to go ahead and give out a shout out to all of our Patreon members Kitsune, Emperor Atlantis, Daniel Padilla, Tyson, and our very own Anthony Estrada right now. Yeah, thanks to all of you guys for what you do. And yeah, that's just quick enough to be able to get right back to where we want to get to. So we'll start with the experimental droids. Now, I know, Graham, that you said you have played an experimental droid list. If you want to talk about that real fast, and then the Chosen One has a few different list ideas of his own that he's come up with, and I've even come up with a few. But yeah, so this is Canadian Bear, and yep.
Uh, yeah, no, just played against one of these lists last night. Um, it it doesn't seem like a lot what those different surge abilities are, but they can sneak up on you if you're not if it's the first time going against them. I'll say that for sure. Um, it definitely helps make your BX Commando shine. It's a lot of dice at range 3 and uh, especially if you're backing them up with a lot of repair and shields. They pair really nicely with the different super attack cards, getting refreshes and dodges, um, and then getting to add dice to your attack, or for a late game push into an objective, getting speed 3 on those guys after already
Mhm.
scouting at speed 3. Um,
Mm.
it is a lot to deal with, and it's a lot more red saves in a droid list than I'm used to.
Yeah, the BX droids have all those red saves, and then the
Yep.
Magnus have those red dice saves. The B2s have at least the armor.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fair.
And with all
And
those repair
6 points
bots,
of repair was in that list, so it was a lot.
Jeez.
repairs, shields, red dice, and
Yep.
then the crazy stuff you can do with gaining an aim or a dodge token even.
Hmm.
So yeah, if
Uh,
you had that AI dodge and then the two shields and then spent a surge for an extra dodge, that's so insane.
and then heavy cover more than likely that you're getting protected by.
Hmm.
hmm
It's ridiculous.
And impervious along with that, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they're also immune to deflect.
They're snipers, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm. Mm.
So
And that
uh
and the immune to deflect goes with the entire dice pool, even at range 3, correct?
yep.
Dang.
Yeah,
hmm
it's the benefit to it versus high velocity.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
you can still spend your dodge, it just won't do anything besides give you surge to block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know. I feel
so
like
good.
that's a I don't know. That's a topic for another time. I feel like sometimes I would rather have high velocity, but
Oh
I guess
yeah, I'm
it's
just saying it's
situational.
oh yeah. I mean it's high or immune to deflect is definitely better for the clones than it is for the droids.
hmm
Um, yeah.
And then,
Uh,
so Anthony, what kind of different lists have you kind of come up with in a way?
Yeah. So I was talking to Graham here earlier. The less than 10 acts in a droid list kind of seems sacrilegious almost. Um, but I have had a few lists that I can get up to 10 acts. Seems like the norm is either going to be between 8 to 10. I think you're probably going to find a middle ground somewhere at 9. But the 10 act that I kind of want to try is got a regular T series, nothing on them. two B1s with the E5S, and two worker droids, two Magna Guards with the RPS, two Commando BXs with the sniper deflector shields, and three Droidicas. Um, I think that may help. I think the suppression is definitely going to start creeping back up. Um, and even this past weekend, I felt a lot of people had ways to dish out suppression, especially now, where if you're panicked, you drop the objective, where I don't think in the past it really mattered. And it came up in a game recently of mine where I was able to panic somebody and they had to drop an objective, and I was able to kill them and basically win the game. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to try that list out, and I also feel like this may be a hot take, but I don't think you really need the snail droid. I think it eats up a lot of points for what it does. I mean, it does have the command node, so you can issue an order out to a core unit, and you can start your chain like that if you're kind of stuck with your T series or your other uh, super attack somewhere else. But I mean, I don't know, Graham. What do you feel about the snail tank and an experimental droids list? I feel like it's not really going to do anything except for basically be an AA5 with HQ uplink.
If it pretty much didn't lose something in every category, I think it would be more interesting. But losing
Mm-hmm.
surge to hit, losing critical one on the main gun, losing impact
Mm-hmm.
one and the white die on the ion guns,
Yeah.
And
um,
transport. Yeah, it can transport. That was
and
my mistake.
transport. I mean, yeah, you're really laying into Arsenal, but at that point, it's you kind of want all three of the ordinances so you can make up for everything you just lost, anyways.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of trapped into basically, like, I don't even know if it's worth even shooting with that thing. I would just move it to have like a line of sight blocking. But even at that, it's going to be really poor because it has two huge blanks that you could just load into. Like, it has weak point
Mhm.
sides. So even if you try to move it and block line of sight, you're just going to lose like 145 points right off the bat. And then at that point, what are you even doing? Like, you could just have something with HQ uplink to start your chain. Um,
Exactly.
it's I would have much rather it kept its original profile and then maybe have them increase the points a little bit to give it that command node. I feel like that would have been a little bit more interesting in terms of how you build the list, because now you essentially have a mobile a mobile field commander in a sense, because you have that control node. So now you can have something transporting on you, and you can just issue it since you're carrying it, and then have them start the chain like that. I feel like that would have been pretty cool, but then maybe it would have been too imbalanced for
Yeah.
having the snail tank do that. I don't know.
But it's
That's
also
just my
barely
opinion.
a chain that you can make. You can only have two B1s. So,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Just chain twice, maybe?
yeah.
I guess you could
Mhm.
chain it to where they also get an order on something else, but it's gonna kill the chain. So it's not
Yeah.
really super useful. And
And
them making you take more Magna Guards and BX Commandos, it's not that bad. I think they both have AI move dodge, so
mhm.
they're gonna get something. It's not like the worst thing, like attack protocols on a spider droid where it's AI aim. That sucks. That really does suck. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like you can lose a snail tank and really lean into kind of what we were talking about earlier, having a droid army with entirely red saves minus your, well, if you can fit a super attack, I think they're also red saves. And you can have a whole red save army. So now it's basically clones without the token share ability. But you can still spend tokens, surge tokens off of the commander, which kind of feels a little bit better in a sense than the traditional like T series bolstering out. We can kind of lean into that, just like a speed three Magna Guard. If it's like a late game or you're trying to rush something like on key positions, like I feel like that's really, really huge.
Yeah, I actually created a 10 point or a 10 activation list, and it's got 5 Magna Guards with situational awareness and 3 full droid commandos with Hunter, the BX sniper, and vibro swords in case you wanted to take, like, have almost, let's see, well, that's 8 units with charge. And then you have Kalani and the T series. I mean, I'm sure you could change Kalani out for the Kraken and do something, but the only white save is the T series, and so everything else is basically a red save army and basically has charge, especially if you were to bring Kraken instead of Kalani.
Yeah, that'd be very. How many axes? You said 10? Yeah, yeah. I feel that. I feel like if you're gonna take Kraken, that's more of a melee list, and I would
Uh,
almost. I don't know. I would still rather take the sniper than the
I,
saboteur. The saboteur is kind of.
I don't know if it's going against the Wookiee Battle Force. The Sab is pretty good.
Oh yeah, because it's a poison.
Yeah.
But they would have to. It's not like boss. That's my only thing. Like you're really having to make sure that they don't save, which I guess it's a white save, so the chances are probably it is going to push through. Um, but what is it? Two? Is it a white and a red or a black and a white for the Dioxys?
Uh, 2 whites and a black.
The BX Commando Surge hit, right?
Yep. Well, and the bomb does too by
Mm.
itself. So
Oh, okay, cool. Then yeah, maybe just take that. If you're gonna rush in there, you might as well. You just move, lay a mine out somewhere, and just be like, "Come get me," and then just move. And then if they do try to meet you out there, just double move charge. Now you have the vibro swords, and I think they're what red, white,
Yep.
per.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Get cooked, I guess, and then just have Kraken just override you, I guess. And you can
Yeah.
really just hide the T series. Actually, I'll play that list.
I mean, if you want to, you could also just drop the T series and get 6 Magna Guards with situational.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, you can play hostage exchange with that too. All right, cool. Here you go. That was my biggest thing. I was like, whoa, you could just not take any B1s and just be like, I nominate my Magna Guard to be my hostage carrier. Get cooked, and then just round 1 or 2, just all right, speed 3, move. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, you could basically take off. I mean, you could have Hunter on all of them, the Dioxys, and then Vibro Swords, like you said. All of that would be insane. Kraken would be just by himself. Man, that's a good one. That's
just
10x.
uh, just throw tenacity on a Kraken because why not?
Yeah, just get that
Yeah.
extra red die. Search the crit. Why
Yeah.
not? You know?
Jeez.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. I feel like you can build them up to be really, really good. Where they probably will fall though is if they face something that does have uh, a lot of suppression heavy things, so like a phase 2 mortar, and the Wookiees can still throw out suppression with their long gun as well. So I feel like they'll be pretty susceptible to uh, suppression as far as them meeting their value. Because what are BX's courage
Courage.
2? I think Magnets are courage. Oh no, these
These
are
ones
the
are
courage
Courage
one.
1
Yeah,
now.
they'll be Courage
Yeah.
1.
I forgot
Well,
about
see,
that.
so yeah, so you'd have to be careful on. I guess the trade-off is good because you're adding an extra Magna Guard and just dropping a courage, which I guess is okay, but you're really limited to those 3 search tokens on that single commander. So it's also like very situational on when to use it and
Yeah,
what to use as
and you
far as those things go.
and you can remove up to 2 suppression tokens with a single surge token, just in
Mm-hmm.
case. So if your Magnus were getting suppressed, you could just take off 2 suppression and not even have to worry about inspire at all.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's also true.
it's so unfortunate that they don't have to remove the search tokens after each turn. They can just continue stacking them. Oh no.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to get changed at some point because that's going to be because if you don't even use them your first round, because well, man, with a sniper, if you're
The
rolling,
sniper you could, yeah.
yeah, with a sniper, it's like 2 red and then a black and a white at range 5.
Yeah.
That's oh my god. So you have a
Wait, is
better
that what you're
chance of
talking
getting.
about earlier about the surges stacking?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because
Oh,
they're
I
not
didn't
on the
even think
board, they're
about
on the
that.
card.
Oh, All right, well, wait till round 6. All right, I'm gonna spend
Exactly.
remove the suppression. Also spend this to make him speed 3. Also spend this to make him get an extra white and a black. Also get wrecked. Jesus
Pretty
Christ, yeah, they're probably
much.
gonna fix that. They're gonna errata that. I guarantee. Someone's gonna exploit it in like a tournament, and they're gonna be like, "Well, we didn't mean that. We just meant per round." They're gonna be like, "Nope, that's not what you meant."
Yeah, because for 10x, and
Yeah.
you're saving 3 per round, what is it, like 3, 6, 9, 12. So at least by round 4, you've got, 12 different surge tokens you can use if you haven't used them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But you're probably going to be using them because obviously the
Yeah.
AI is going to be kicking in quite a lot, so you're going to need something.
I mean, the one thing is you can only do it once per activation, at least
Mm-hmm.
spending one of the surges. So there's at least some limitation, but you can still do it and leave it to where every single one of your units on turn 6 can spend a surge.
Yeah, that's also true. I guess it's like, yeah, I'd have to see more reps with it or get played against with something like that to really feel it. Because I also didn't really see like when I first looked at it, the battle force is like okay, like that's pretty cool. Like you can add Magdas there, and then after really looking into the rules, I was like, all right, somebody's gonna break this, and it's only a matter of time. And I feel like it's a decent balance from the Wookiee defenders because they also have the stipulation where the first time I think it's per round that they
Yep.
lose a miniature, you can make a speed 1 move. Jesus, that's annoying. I will say that. My third game in Oklahoma City, I was like picking Wookiees off, and it was just like, oh, by the way, speed 1. And then next thing you know, it's like they're within charge range, so they just take an aim, charge, and then it's like pierce, and then I just get cooked up in melee. So that I feel like it's a decent balance enough between the two battle forces, but if you're not taking a battle force army with you, I feel like it's kind of an uphill battle sometimes.
Like a side note, I think even with the with that free action to gain an aim or a dodge, that lethal is going to be you're going to be pretty much getting lethal almost all the time on these things.
Yeah,
Jeez,
I can attest to that.
man.
Especially with O push two, now you have two. You can re-roll if you need to, and then just pop it.
Mhm.
And then we also have bugs. So we got a lot of the Geonosians, which is actually
Mm-hmm.
very good because you can move basically essentially 3 times, or at least do a free move and then take an aim and shoot. Or what kept happening to me was do the free move, shoot, and then move back for your second action, so that you're basically always having steady with them or relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, yeah,
And it's jump 3, so you're always going to be able to move through stuff, which is disgusting. Like, oh, by the way, pop out, shoot, pop back. Now come get me. You can literally just hide behind a wall and
yeah,
just jump
I,
over it.
and
I
I've
want to know what table they were testing on that made them think, yeah, these things need jump 3.
yeah, I
Like,
don't.
where are they getting their terrain from that is that tall?
You're like, we can't get any wider, so let's just get taller.
Yeah.
That works.
Probably.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah, it's
a
kind of annoying.
yeah, I've got a 10 act bugs list that's 797. It's got Poggle the Lesser with Electro. It's got Sunfac with nothing, and then it's got 4 Geonosian Warriors with the Sonic Cannon and the extra guy, 2 Super Battle Droids with the B2 Ha and the T Series, and then 2 Strike Teams with the Sniper for 10 acts and 797.
Ew.
And that could be for the technically the 3 pip that we make weapons. When you give it to 4 droid troopers, you give it to both strike teams and both battle droids, and they just can bring back that person, and then everything else, oh, it's just going to be insane.
Yeah, that is. And then also Apollo Lesser, I think it's his card, his what is it, 3 pip, 2 pip? It's essentially No Time for Sorrows, but for bugs. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. That jump 3 is ridiculous. I don't even know why you would make that. You're making them jump higher than Boba with a jetpack. Like I don't understand.
You're going above air speeders and flutters. It's so weird.
Gee, I know. If anything should have had jump three, it should have been the Fluttercraft because they were going high. They're going into those tall trees in Kashyyyk. Like that makes sense. Geonosians with jump three, where are they going? It's a big desert. Like they flew into the that Coliseum, I guess, but
I guess so they can get
what
even
else?
deeper and just fly up. There's that episode in Clone Wars where they were
Oh, Rebels.
underground, and I mean, you could probably just like create deep underground holes and just fly. But the other thing is like the fluttercrafts have cover what two,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and then if the Geonosians can jump three, you're going to be higher probably than a fluttercraft, and so that fluttercraft isn't going to be getting any cover.
Which that's so weird that death from above is not limited to trooper units, like against trooper units.
Even the
Like,
I didn't
lat.
even think about that.
yeah, like, it's so
Jesus.
weird that like native cover on like vehicles is getting canceled out. It's like the whole point of them is that they're moving quick. So,
There's
um,
Not
a
to
there's that bug
Geonosians.
though.
yeah, not as fast as the bug, I guess.
They served the queen. They gotta get going.
Yeah, this is the only bug that's not going to be left on the windshield, more than likely.
It is the windshield.
Yes.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, there. Yeah, that's a lot to talk about with experimental droids. I know we can keep going, but we'll try to move on to the Wookiee Defense Force. So, with the Wookiee Defense Force, they also have a special little rule that allows them to make a speed one move once a trooper is defeated that round. So, you're going to be moving up the board quite a bit faster. Um, so I know Graham, you've come up with a meme one for sure. That was 11 acts, and that was pretty insane. That was pretty funny.
Yep.
But do you think that this? You were also mentioning that I think the Wookiee Battle Force was going undefeated so far.
Yeah, Hob over at Golden State Games. Uh, right now it's just like a Worlds qualifier is currently in the top four. It looks like.
Mm.
Um, what is he running? It's Yoda with barrier, push, reflexes, and vigilance. Chewie with protector and recon. A naked melee wook, and then 5 melee wooks with tenacity and recon. um, yeah, and he's got a 12-point bid.
Ew.
So yeah, have fun against that.
Yeah, I can see how
Take your
he's
pick, I guess.
doing insane. Um, Man, yeah, I can't think of anything that would.
The only like the question I have for him is why do you have supply drop and not war weary in your battle deck? It just feels like war weary would be great for what is that 6 or 7 units with Indomitable and Yoda.
And courage too.
Courage 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all have
Oh
courage
yeah, that's
too.
true.
And so there would be no point in having a commander like nearby for
Yeah.
most part because they can take force suppression. And then if Yoda does keep up with that burst of speed, he's going to be or inspiring presence. I think that's what it was to keep that range 4, courage 4. Um,
Yeah, yeah, something like that. I don't remember what the name of the card is. Yeah, Inspiring Presence is the one that increases it by 1. So he'd have a Courage 2 bubble. Or a Range 2 bubble for his Courage.
oh yeah, that's
But
true.
um but yeah. Um I mean there's uh if you really want to go heavy, like that 11 act list is 99 wounds of Wookiee fur. 4 naked shooty wooks,
Jesus.
6 naked melee wooks, and a naked Chewbacca. And you've got an 8-point bid. Yeah. And if you want to, so you can have like at least one unit that's slightly better at hostage, you can drop a shooty wook and give 3 of your melee Wookiees shields. And then you haven't lost any health because you've just gained 3 more models back to make up for the 3 models you just dropped. And now you're gaining
That's
3 things of armor 1.
disgusting. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I feel like people who can really craft lists with the Wookiee battle force are not to be trifled with. I'll tell you what though, attack run is a really it was annoying, but it's a really good keyword for those fluttercraft. It kind of does put into perspective like who uses those regularly. And I think being able to choose at the start of your activation from going to speed 1 to speed 3 is a lot more crucial than people may think it is. Because I think overrun, I think it, I think you need to overlap it or just pass through it. I think.
Yeah, so long as
Um,
something of your base overlaps.
yeah, so there could be a situation where you're not going to cover that distance if you were to do like a regular speed 2 move, but increasing that to speed 3 or speed 1, one allows you to ensure that you're getting that overrun attack and then also displacing to get suppression. But it also lets you kind of maneuver out of kind of tough positions where you may have like, kind of got yourself stuck, which is really good. It's annoying to go against, but that's just kind of I don't know. I've played enough against Fluttercraft to know that they need to be the first thing that needs to go down. And if they don't, then you're going to be in really tough time.
Well, I know I've mentioned a ton about the cavalry list that Graham played with the 2 lats and the 3 speeders,
Yes.
and the Pierce gun where you were just repositioning and shooting and then moving and or repositioning and all that stuff. Man, that was good. That was really good. A good way to use it. And hopefully we can see some stuff like that with this new attack run. Because do you think
Yeah.
that speed 1 or speed 3 would get you there faster and then move and then?
And the reposition is so nice too. But they already had. It's that makes all the difference is having that free reposition. Um, but yeah, like there's I mean most of the time it looks like the Wookiee lists are around 8 unless you're going really bare bones naked and not bringing Yoda. um like you can do fully loaded chieftain with 4 melee Wookiees with shields and tenacity, and 3 of them get O push and recon. 1 gets prepared supplies and into the fray. So you've got your hostage unit that really doesn't care about whatever you throw at it. And then you can have 3 bombardiers. um, or you can do more on the Pierce side, and you can have like a chieftain and 2 Studi Wooks, and with the cat bowcaster, and 2 flutters with the gunner, and then still 3 melee Wookiees with shields again. It's yeah, there's a lot of flexibility for an actually limited battle force.
Yeah, and I can imagine one with Yoda because if, say that you have a hostage unit and turn 2, one of the minis is gone, that's a free speed 1 move, and then you use Yoda to guidance it, and then on its turn, it does another 2 moves, and that's 4 moves in 1 turn. And so you don't even have to worry about your hostage unit anymore being out in the open.
If you really want to do it too, you could always play the Yoda 1 pip and get 5 moves on that turn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because then you can use the guidance twice.
Yep.
Oh my lord. Or even for recover stuff.
Guided.
Yeah, recover the supplies.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of any of the bombing run. If you needed someone for bombing run, you could get them to move a few times.
Yep. Breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna probably
Uh,
be the most mobile kind of list I've ever
yep.
seen.
I mean,
Yeah,
payload's not safe either.
mm-mm.
Yep.
The only
Just you can slam onto theirs more like a speeder than you would think.
I can only think of like the Vader's 2 pip, the new ways to motivate them, and dewbacks is just kind of like that might be the only thing that'll catch up to them and catch them off guard.
Yeah, but I also feel like they punch really hard in melee, so you would want to stay outside of melee and try to pick them off as soon as you can. But then you're also kind of just on the side of, if they are bringing Fluttercraft, those things need to go down, because if they don't go down and you allow them to stay around, they're going to be annoying. Like I
Yep.
promise you, especially with the tack run, a speed 3 compulse and then another move, like you're clearing some ground there. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna get really annoying. And I don't, if people haven't played against Fluttercraft that often, the ability to go speed 3 and not just stick at speed 2 is just that much more annoying. Like I dislike it.
I mean, even
But
without
mm,
reposition, when they were only speed 2, 3 speed 2 moves with their base pretty much got you just shy of halfway across the long side of the board.
mm-hmm. Now do that 3 times with the speed
At
3.
speed 3.
Yep.
Yep. uh,
Good thing it's not a transport, or that would be the worst.
Jesus Christ.
lame. Lame. Give me transport flutters.
That would be pretty cool, though. Actually, that would. That would suck, but that would be pretty cool.
It has what is it? Speeder 3. So now they fly as high as the Geonosians.
Yes.
That'd be actually pretty nice. I know at least the only Yoda one that I've ever come up with right now is 8-Ax, and it's got, Yoda with barrier, push, burst of speed, and you can, put inspiring presence or whatever else, or instead of burst of speed, you could just do the mind trick, and then Chewie with protector, and then 4 Wookiees with into the fray, tenacity, and recon, and then 2 Fluttercrafts with the gunner. And that's 8 activations, 798. But
Boo.
that's the only Yoda list I've been able to kind of work out.
Yeah, it's so good that the gunner came down 10 points. I'm so happy it did now. Uh,
That Pierce one gun is so good.
mhm. Yep.
Um, and then yeah, I've got another one with the Wookiee with vigilance, situational, recon, and tenacity, and then 3 Wookiees with into the fray, tenacity, and recon again, and then 2 shooty Wookiees with the bowcaster and targeting scopes, and then 3 Fluttercrafts with the gunner for 9 activations. So that at least you have got like 5, Wookiee units, and then Fluttercrafts for whatever, bombing run or breakthrough, and then the Wookiee chieftain to at least have that, double rainbow. Double rainbow all the way. Well, yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy to see them and, the Wookiees doing really, really well. Next, we can talk about the Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've played a little bit of the Inquisitors, and I've made, I forgot how many lists with them. I think like 9 or so.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 9 different kind of lists. Let's see, I've got Din in Inquisitors, Iden in Inquisitors, Callus Inquisitors, Vader Inquisitors, Veers Inquisitors with the IRG, Boba Inquisitors, Inquisitors and Dues, Inquisitors and Bikes, and then Inquisitors with IRGs and Medbots. And I think they're all practically 10 activations. Even
Uh,
the Vader Inquisitor list is also 10 activations. That's just got an Imperial officer with nothing, 5 naked stormtroopers, another stormtrooper with the Medroid, and then Vader with burst, push, seize, and tenacity, and then fifth brother with tenacity, seize, and force push, and then the seventh sister with the Inquisitorious training, tenacity, and force push, and that's 796, 10 activations. So that one should be a lot of fun.
Boo.
now, Anthony, I know you said flutters need to die first. I think
Mhm.
there's something else that needs to die first every time.
Yeah, I think so.
3 force users coming at you, and I think the block I feel like is just way better. And then even keeping, the fifth brother, playing the 2-pip for fifth brother, the you would question me with the permanent and the with the seventh sister, gaining the opposite dodge aim kind of thing. If you were to have an Imperial officer just hand out an aim to the fifth brother for free, that's giving a seventh sister a dodge for free, and then he takes another aim, giving her a second dodge, and she's kind of rushing in because she's got charge naturally. You've got to get 2 wounds for the fifth brother to have charge to begin with, and it's kind of a trade-off between 4 health left and 0 courage, or 5 health and 3 courage, kind of going first, and the disciplined one with demoralize 2 and 1 turn by playing her 3 pip. If you wanted to bring it, she'd have that demoralize 2, and then cancel out a force slot, and then you force push enough to get to the fifth brother, and then the fifth brother force pushes enough to get to Vader, and then Vader force pushes into him, and then you've just brought the hostage unit into your own deployment zone for the most part. Yeah, there's a lot that you can do, I'm imagining, with that, especially with the medic and at least one of the stormtrooper units. But yeah, the Inquisitors are not that bad. They're going to die pretty quick. They don't hit that hard with, Pierce 1 and some black dice, but at least with Tenacity, you can roll 6 dice and have a red in there, surging to hit. I still don't know, and I don't think anybody does know, that if the offensive-defensive stance on the fifth brother, when he gains 2 aims, if that gives the seventh sister 2 dodges. I'm not sure if anyone's actually answered that yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. You'd have to probably check on the forums.
The only reason I don't know if that would work is because with the You Question Me, when the fifth brother gains an aim token, the seventh sister gains a dodge. Now he's, I guess, gaining 2 aims off of 1 action, and it doesn't say it. And yeah, it's really weird. And if when either unit gains an aim or dodge, if the other unit gains an immobilized token, then you can gain 2 additional. So if you were to take an aim with the fifth brother, and to get 2 aims and then give 2 dodges to the seventh sister, and if you were to double that by giving the seventh sister a immobilize, then would she get a 3rd dodge for that 3rd aim that he'd be able to gain from that? And then if he were to take I don't even know. I mean, this can get to where you're just gaining so many different tokens.
Yeah, it's gonna get real scary.
Because I think no, go ahead.
It kind of, I don't know. It kind of feels like another one of those cards where it's a word salad, and when you ask a question, they just say yes.
Because I mean, there's
pretty much.
They usually specify everything for the most part, and then this one they didn't exactly specify. Like, it just says when you gain an aim or a dodge. It doesn't say take an aim or a dodge. So if you were to just electro binoculars and on a few different units onto the fifth brother, and or have him that offensive defensive stance, you take the offensive stance, you take your 2 aims, give her 2 dodges, and then the commander gives you an aim, which gives her a 3rd dodge, and maybe if you were to give yourself an immobilized token on the seventh sister, then she can gain a 4th dodge, just keeping her alive, and then going with her 1 pip right after, which gives her Indomitable and gives her a free dodge if she has a face-up order token when she's a target of an attack. So yeah, when she's declared a target of an attack while she has a face-up order token, she gains a dodge. And if you were to already give her like 3 dodges, 4 dodges that turn, and then also on top of that, she's rolling an extra defense dice, I'm sure there's some really fun things that we can eventually do with her and him. But I'm usually torn on which one to throw out there and which one to kind of generate tokens. But the fifth brother's the one that generates everything for the other.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to play into the whole, we can have more than just 2 operatives. You could always throw an officer, Iden, the brother and sister, Fett, Inferno, and 3 stormtroopers, 1 with a medic for 9x.
And 4 operatives. Man.
4 operatives.
Yeah. Now what I was thinking is like every time that you play one of their command cards, it at least gives it to both of them. So then you'd have 2 operative tokens left in the bag that you can kind of choose between. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, you've got really sweet order control.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I'm excited about them. I think they're properly priced. I know I'd left a comment on the 5th Trooper, and someone made a brilliant breakdown of kind of why they're costed that way. I think we've come to the conclusion that they're undercosted when they're going up against a force user, but they're overcosted if they're not going up against a force user because you're probably trying to stack them with the Inquisitorious training, and they're kind of underwhelming in some instances. But I think why he thinks that they're overcosted is because you can cancel out a force slot, and then you might be able to do that twice, and then you've got these force pushes on them. Um, but yeah, I think they're right. I think they're at a good price because I mean, fully stacked, they're only like 126 points for the fifth brother and 131 for the seventh sister. So you're looking at
Yeah.
157 points, 257 points for two super strong units with force push ability. Now, the only reason I think that Veers goes well with them is because his 3-pip allows for a free recover action, and it gives it to him and two other units. So you can give it to both seventh sister and fifth brother and still have really good order control with your operatives. And then they have a 2-pip that allows for a free recover. So at least 2 turns when you play command cards, they have a free recover action they can take. And then you still have pretty good order control.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of crafting with that, and I think I'm pretty excited about kind of what they're leaning into with the Inquisitors with that keyword associate. I'm really interested on where they're going to go with that. I feel like they're probably going to do something with Kanan and Ezra eventually down the line. And then when the Republic do get Ahsoka, it might also be associate of that. And then Ahsoka may, I don't know, speculation, may either be a commander and have her own command cards. It would make sense thematically, but I kind of do like the associate keyword and kind of where they're going with that. I feel like it's a pretty good addition.
I think it depends on what age they give her.
because
Is what rank she's gonna get.
it could be
Yeah,
Padawan
okay, fair.
Ahsoka,
Yeah.
and she gains, or it could be instead of associate, it could just be Padawan, and then maybe she could be taken with any commander, or maybe if they just made like a Padawan kind of like keyword, then whatever she counts as doesn't count towards your minimum, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I could see her having that, not like the hand thing, but maybe like another card like Lando and Grogu that you can play this card outside of your command hand and gain something like that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, almost maybe they just make her an operative and not necessarily something like that. But I do think the associate probably would come with like a Kanan and an Ezra.
I think hopefully that's what they have in the works, especially coming out with the fifth brother and seventh sister. I think that's a great way to introduce Kanan and Ezra
Yeah, for sure.
or Ahsoka. But Guard needs to change to 4 operative commanders. That's literally I'm gonna protest
They
that until they
should.
do it.
They should have. I mean, they should get the Shadow Collective treatment. It was like, okay, cool. You can run however many commanders and operatives. Go wild. Because that would be kind of
Yeah.
fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be fun. Also, just having a combat operative would be nice too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
not R2D2 or Padme. No
Yep.
shame on Padme or anything, but like, I don't know. Give me something. Give me something else.
Yep.
because I was watching the Clone Wars yesterday, and the amount of Jedi that they have, I mean, on Camino and or just on Ryloth or anywhere, like they've got so many good Jedi that they can make operatives, and even Padawans could make good operatives. Um, I mean, they've got so many good choices.
Gwendolyn Vosh would be a great operative.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that would
Yeah.
be a good operative.
Yeah. Awesome.
They could make damn, I forgot his name. Tarful. They can make Tarful an operative. Have him go side by side with the Wookiee chieftain.
And then
Uh,
Chandra Sandula or Chant whatever the Hera's
no,
dad.
Champ.
Oh, Champ
Champ,
Syndulla?
yep,
Yeah.
Champ Sandula could be a good one, and um,
they need to come out with
I want
the
my blurgs.
yes, yes. I was about to say they need to have those as support units. I mean, come on, what are they waiting on? But yeah, that's
What a time to be alive.
yeah. I think Legion has a lot that they have left to do that they can do, and I think it's they've got more that they can do than Shatterpoint because of the Blorgs.
Yeah, the blurgs
Yeah,
aren't going to
Blurgs.
work
Blurgs.
Yeah,
on there.
sorry, Blurgs.
The only thing they really have more of is that they can really individualize each clone trooper. That's really it. Um, it's a lot of characters, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for where Legion's going and kind of like what they have planned so far. So yeah. Oh, Oklahoma City. I completely forgot real fast. So if we kind of want to talk somewhat a little bit about the Oklahoma City tournament that you did, Anthony, you're welcome to if you'd
Mm-hmm.
like. I know that you just did a tournament over there. Um,
Yeah. So it was a pretty good the usual players kind factions coming up. We had a lot of Empire, Republic. There was a few Rebels and a few Shadow Collective, and if memory serves me right, I don't think there was any CIS lists at all. No, no CIS. Um, the person who won it was this guy named Seth. Um, he was a Republic player. Um, he ended up winning that one. Um, yeah, kind of what I was saying the last time we got on here. I think armor's sticking around. A lot of people had some form of anti armor, whether if it was impact like 4, impact, I don't know, 20. There's always going to be some form of impact. And I think people are going to bring something to at least give them a chance. And it seems like a lot of the lists were just either if they didn't really care what they played, their lists were tailored to play like, you know, all objectives, and then anybody that had a bid created their list tailored to play those specific objectives. There wasn't much more than a 5 point bid in any of the games that I had played. So that was pretty interesting to see. I think when I first got into the game, there was a lot of people doing like 10 point bids, 15 point bids, and they had Blade Enforcement like 30 point bids. Um, but yeah, I like the spread of the factions, and I think everybody was pretty much just trying to counter armor and then just make sure their list had enough survivability to kind of make it through all 6 rounds. There was very few people that got like tabled, or there was very few people where it was like kind of a shootout, for lack of better terms. But overall, it was a pretty good tournament. But yeah, I think Republic's in a good place. I think Empire was in second. But it looks like right now those two factions are kind of just coming up. There wasn't that many Rebel players there, but I think they also did fairly well. So I think the game all around is in a really good place. But I think just people bringing impact is always going to kind of stay around until they have something new come out. You know, I don't know, Graham. What have you been kind of seeing in the competitive scene?
Um, I mean, it's predominantly been mostly red saves is kind of what the collective has gone towards.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I mean, there still have been like quite a few surprises. Like I think we talked about last time with the 14 act Ewok list out of France.
Yeah.
Um, like there's still some good ones out there. I mean, it's effectively a red save, but I think it was Brian Bear like a month or two back did a Rebel Mando list that did really well too.
Oh yes, was
Uh,
that the one at Indy?
I think so. Yeah, the zombie Mandos
Yes.
because he had a whole bunch of medics.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
whoa, what did that look like?
I think it was 3 resistance and then a bunch of
Was it police with
medics.
the medic?
I think it was a little bit of both, but I don't remember entirely. But Like, so there is definitely still play out there. It's just
Mm-hmm.
white saves tend to take a bit more practice in order to capitalize on red save overconfidence sometimes.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think that's also kind of a shield that people kind of don't look at. Like if you're playing like Rebels or CIS and you're going up against somebody that has red saves, like yeah, it can be demoralizing when you're like plinking at them and only doing like one wound here, one wound there. But I think it ultimately just comes down to your playstyle and how you tailor your list and kind of taking opportunities where they present them. So like if you catch somebody, you know, in light cover or you catch somebody that's on the verge of panicking, then you got to take the opportunity. You can't just like let things pass. And it is refreshing to see that CIS are winning tournaments and Rebels are still winning tournaments because I think after the points change, was it in January, February? I think people were like, "Yep, Rebels are never gonna win
Yeah,
anything competitively," and then there you go. We have somebody at Indy winning with Mandos. Granted, it was red save, but I mean, it's Rebels. They're what 3 units of red saves versus entire armies of red saves. Like,
actually, I found the list too.
what was it?
Two officers, both with vigilance. One had a scanner,
Mm,
Boba with Steez and the flame projector. Three fleets with the med droid, one naked
mm-hmm.
fleet, and then three resistance with the duelist, situational, transponders, prepared supplies, and rockets.
That's pretty
Yep, there you
stacked.
go. There's your anti-armor and your anybody that wants to go and try to rush you, get cooked with a speed 3 melee unit.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm still trying to
Yeah,
figure out
see,
if
don't
it's.
underestimate fleets. There you go.
Yeah.
4 fleets right there. Good babysitters.
I still feel pretty safe against fleets. If I see fleets, I'm still thinking what's going to happen is they're not doing nothing.
Stay exactly range 3.
Just kite them. Just kite
Yeah,
them along and you're good. Dice pulls.
it gets really scary. It gets really scary if you get crazy, um, and you add the which is it, the blast weapon that they have.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can pick off some things with the blast. Also, they have a shotgun. They have the scattergun. That's ridiculous. They're what Black Suns. They're trying to be what Black Suns are, and they just aren't.
Yeah.
They do have what is it that ready? So when they take a standby, they get an aim, which is cool, I guess. But
Yeah,
That
but
needs a
yeah, I don't know.
rework.
yeah, because
Yeah, it does need a rework.
demoralize and with all these other things like free suppression being handed out is going to be everywhere. So that standby is going to be doing almost nothing unless you're in melee.
Imagine immune demoralize. Imagine if they got a keyword that just did not shake their standbys. I mean, they did get slaughtered by Vader, so they have some sort of courage.
Yeah. If
They
you
did
just
at
made it
least
where like
try to
Ready
kill
One made their standbys immune to suppression,
him.
but like they can still be taken away from like a force push or whatnot.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good rework. So like anything, yeah. So like immune, they gain. I don't know what keyword it would be, but yeah, they're essentially immune to anything that would strip. So like demoralized or a shot. You would have to have somebody go in there and literally force push them or get displaced in some way to remove that standby.
Mhm.
That'd be good. I think that would be a pretty good thing. But anyways, yeah, that was OKC. It was pretty good. Everybody up there was really, really nice. We had somebody run the Wookiee battle force. Definitely was demoralizing. I made a mistake, turn zero, and I knew that I had to shoot my way out of it, and I was super close to it, but it just at the end there was like two units that were just breaking through, and I was like, all right, this is not gonna work. I need to figure it out. The white saves on his fluttercraft were abysmal. I think that was what really sealed it. I think I like dumped everything into like two of his fluttercraft, and they were rolling like really hot. I think there was like a 7 shot after cover where he had to roll 7 dice, and he only took like 2 or 3 wounds. And I was like, "There's no way, there's no way." And it happened like 2 or 3 more times after that, and I was like, "This game is not going in my favor." And then I'd roll my red dice, and it's like, "Okay, cool." Blanks. I'm like, "Oh my god." And then you kill a Wookiee, and it's like, oh, okay, speed 1, I'm going towards you. I mean, his chieftain died, but then he just promoted somebody else in the like the furthest back with the long gun as his commander, and then it was just like, okay, cool, and I didn't lose anything basically. I'm like, all right, well, there goes that. IG did stay alive. He did get the bounty on the chieftain, but it didn't really matter. I still lost like 2-1, and kill points were not on my side either. So, but yeah, it was pretty good. I'll be going to another one here. Let's see, in a couple weeks. I got one up in Waco, and then I'm going to go back up to Dallas in November to hopefully try to secure another invite. But yeah, Graham, you got Crucible coming up this coming weekend, don't you?
Yep. Yeah, leaving in a few days. Going to be driving down, so it'll be a drive to get there.
Get to meet all the Florida men.
Yes. Yes, I get to meet them on their home turf after they met me on mine last year at PAX.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I wish I could go down there to see how y'all do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, it's unless something's changed, I'm pretty sure Yavin Base is going to be streaming Crucible also.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah.
Now it's just your job to make it on table that they're streaming.
Yep, we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Well, anything else to add to anything?
Get crazy with your lists. Experiment.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
It's even in the name now.
Yeah, experiment with the droids. Do something wacky. Make droidicas good again. I'm still gonna harp on it. They need to make droidicas better. There's no way that they're that bad. They need to be better.
I actually think someone.
But I also feel like if you add one thing, it's gonna break the unit. So I don't know. That's kind of also bad. Like if you give them blast, or if you give them surge to hit, broken.
Just critical one per model.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I
Critical
think-
one per model. Impact
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, it's the same as the S-Staps now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Make them stats.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think someone had posted in the Discord somewhere that they had a list or two with 3 droidicas and went 3-0. But
Nice.
I was trying to find it, but I couldn't see where they posted it.
Was that overseas? I think I read that message. But yeah, 3 droidicas and experimental droids. I mean, if you want suppression in your list and you just want to keep hammering it on, I think that's probably the way to go, especially with their ability to spend surge tokens on like your Magnus or your BXs. If you can have your droidicas kind of roll up the flank and then just start laying fire, they don't even have to do anything. They just shoot, move, roll away, not really do anything. I think that's probably good enough. Granted, cover's going to eat most of it, but the 2 suppression there and then having people try to rally that off or waste an action trying to inspire or something, I think it's also pretty good. I don't even know if inspires a reaction or not.
Yeah, Inspire's just after the rally stat.
It's just a thing that happens.
Oh, well then never mind. Yeah, suppression, man. Just have them get suppressed. I think it'd be fine, and then you can just spend a surge and lollygag away.
I think we'll definitely see, Republic kind of getting near the very, very top, and then experimental droids kind of over the rest of the CIS lists for the most part, possibly. And then Empire, I think between those 3, and Rebels, But yeah, I think I think we'll see some pretty good experimental droid lists, some Wookiee defenders. I'm hoping at Crucible, I'm really hoping that some people do that, and maybe Tempest Force could make a comeback because everyone's going with experimental droids and the Wookiees. That there's not really much anti-armor stuff. That Tempest Force might be able to make a breakthrough.
Yeah, that's also pretty good. Also, I think Tempest usually tries to have a bid. And that's kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. Like, if you're running any of these battle forces, you're either going for full 800 and building it in a way that you can play almost any objective and not care, or you're playing a battle force that has a bid and needs to play your deck because you're tailoring it to that specific gameplay, which was very evident in Oklahoma City. If anybody was running any sort of battle force, like Tempest, they had a bid. they want to play their deck. Blizzard, they have a bid. They want to play their deck. They need to play their deck. Whereas somebody like Wookiees, 5 point bid. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine if you're red player because now you can choose table side. You can choose the most cover, and you have Fluttercraft just flying all over the damn place. So it's it's not terrible. But yeah, I would say if you have a certain play style that you like to go to, and you're wanting to test out a battle force, I would say try to build a battle deck that suits your playstyle, and then if you can build a list around that playstyle, then I think that battle force might be for you. But if you can't, then just experiment it and see if you like it overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else you guys got?
No, that's really it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will end it here then. Thanks everybody for watching, and then thank you guys, Canadian Bear and the Chosen One, for being here and giving some of your input. And I'm excited to see how Crucible goes and how the next tournament goes in Waco. You'll have to keep us all updated. But
Yeah, for sure. That one's going to be a sweaty one.
Mm-hmm. All right, but other than that, if everyone wants to join the Discord, that'd be awesome, and the Patreons can help continue to grow the channel, and hopefully we can do more in the future with that. And yeah, I also again want to give a special shout out to all the Patreon members. Kitsune, Emperor, Atlantis, Daniel Padilla, Tyson, and then our very own Anthony Estrada here. Yeah, thank you
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Yeah, thank you guys for all that you do, and that is it for me. I'm signing out, and you guys, any signature things that you guys want to deuce
Get
out
cooked.
with?
Let the Wookiee win.
Yeah, especially
Yes.
at Crucible.
Yep.
All right, deuces, everybody.
Peace.